Hi, this is Visnostics, Wine-30, except we're doing it on Tuesday at like 3:30 in the afternoon, so we're not drinking. I've got my Taco Casa unsweet tea today.
I got my grape juice.
Sounds good. So here's what you're going to get out of today's session. Most of the time we talk about how to make money and how to be successful with Visnostics, but it's so much more. It's so much more than just business. This will enrich your life in so many different ways. So um, I'm really excited about this guest today. His name is Tim Beardslee, and
Yes.
and he's an artist, and he has a completely refreshing and new perspective of Visnostics. So Tim, tell us about your Visnostic success.
So my Visnostic successes are just starting. My most recent one is I had purchased your book, The Visnostic Selling, um, and I had been reading it, and then I told my friend about it, and she was actually so inspired by it because she bought it and she read it too. She loved it. She loves it, and she actually offered me a job just based on having the knowledge of Visnostics and how powerful and helpful that is to be able to help people in different statements. I would say that my Visnostic successes, at the current moment, it's been more internal, um, to the point where beforehand I was asking people like, "Hey," um, I would always be like, "Oh, would you like to go here? Would you like to go there?" It was always questions, 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 and like they just wouldn't work out. People wouldn't want to go to the places where I wanted to go to eat and stuff like that. And it was once I found this out, it was like, oh, every problem I ever had in my entire life was related to sales knowledge and not knowing how to sell an idea, even if something will be completely going to benefit someone, or if I'd be like, yeah, well, you got to try this. Like, why do I got to try this? And it'd be like, like if you could just see, like, but now with these statements, it could be, tell me how you could love having the best experience of your entire life at this restaurant, and you could like X name a restaurant. And so like it's just the art of being able to know, understand, and kind of commend the beneficial and loving aspects of these statements to people is really helpful in terms of being able to accomplish everything you ever wanted in your entire life, just with the small example of a simple conversation. And it really takes the gift of a conversation to an entirely new level, even with just one sentence, even if you don't even know someone. So that's kind of my epiphany that I've had. And that is the Visnostic success story that goes with that.
Great. Tell them how you learned about Visnostics.
So I was on War Games group with Joe Ingram. And it's every Wednesday. I'm in this group called Quantopia that my friend Charlie has come up with, and that's actually the reason why I'm sitting on the floor right now. I'll get into that in a little bit, but Joe's a part of this group that I'm in, and he has these free sales calls every single Wednesday. You can learn sales knowledge, and he has such a great way of having the coolest people come on there, and just they're so down to earth and loving, and just talk to people and really give them like personal assistance, guidance, unique inspiration just with what they have and their stories and what they've learned with what they have. And it's just so like, wow. And so one day I hop on War Games Group Wednesday with Joe Ingram, and then Kimberly Slavic's on there, and he goes, and this is Kimberly Slavic. And then he was given an intro on Kimberly Slavic. She's sold over $1.9 billion worth of stuff, and it's like, wow. It's like really like you and you're over here communicating with me, and it's just like, wow. It was just really special and important to be just a part of that experience. Like, it was just a casual Wednesday. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and then we ended up learning about these visual diagnostic statements, and then Kimberly is saying stuff like, questions get people into a fight or flight state. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Like I don't enjoy questions all the time. I can say that much. And I know that when I ask other people questions, even if they're well intended, usually they're not received well, but I didn't know why. And now I know why. And it's because Kim said that the questions get people into this fight or flight state. And it totally does, because it's, do I answer this question? Do I not answer this question? And it's like, how do I answer? Did I answer it right? Did I answer it good enough? Did I get across what I was saying good enough? And it's just like, oh, and then it'd be like, well, what would the solution to that be? And it's like visual diagnostic statements. And so I'm getting my mind blown on this Wednesday Zoom call, like, yo, what is going on right now? And after that, she was teaching us how to put together resumes to be able to kind of have a recruiter friendly resume, because someone, even if they've been in a rut or even if they've been stuck for, let's say, 10 years, what Kim provided on this War Games group call literally could change anyone's life in a heartbeat with one statement. And so, to make a long story short, I was on this wonderful Zoom call with Kimberly Slavic and Joe Ingram and a couple other beautiful souls. And that was how I learned about the visual diagnostic statements.
And
The
I'm so
Visnostics.
glad you were on that call, because the best part of what I do is meeting the readers, and you're such a special person, and you've made me grow and you've made me think outside my box. And so I'm very grateful for you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so fun, right? It's because of all the Visnostics, all that serotonin and dopamine going on. We love each other.
Love.
So there's principles, basic principles in Visnostics. And you shared a story with me last week that I thought was so cool. Like out of the blue, you sent me a message talking about an experience you had with a Visnostic statement you tried to do and it kind of blew up. Tell that story. That's a cool story.
So this one, because my brain always goes to the positive, like it just defaults to the positive, quote unquote. I just see it as normal. Other people could see it as positive. So it's just normal for me. So if I asked this individual a statement, he reached out to me. He's like, hey, I would just like to have conversations with people. Been having some good results with conversations. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm about to try this Visnostic statements. And I said to him, tell me about how, so it was something like, tell me about how the art of experiencing an image, or tell me how experiencing an image could change your entire life. Thinking, okay, like there's going to be so many great results that come from this. I just see this going so many great ways. And also, I just don't know where this is going to go. And so he responded something like, dude, I don't know what you're getting at, but the only way I could possibly see an image changing my entire life would be like if it was something horrendous happening to my whole family. And I was like, well, geez, like that didn't go where I was expecting it to go, or even in the near ballpark of where I was thinking it might go.
And the money exercise teaches that words are.
I don't remember the answer to this, but I know that it's like the money, like no one ever says that they see the letters money. I don't remember what the exact specific answer is, but like I just remember the principle.
Yeah, there's a lot of lessons.
Is it subjective? Is it subjective?
Yes, we're
Okay, yay,
yes,
yay,
yes.
yay. Yay.
So when you said about your how a graphic would change his life, you were thinking changed in a good way. He thought changed in a bad way, right? And so with one word modification on your statement, what did you change that? What was the word that you changed it to?
So with the help of Kimberly Slavic, what we ended up coming up with was, tell me how viewing this picture can improve your life.
Yeah,
And instead of
right.
just leaving it open to like any possible interpretation going anywhere, it's kind of like we are going to guide the people in a great way.
Perfect. That's awesome. And congratulations on your job. Just because you read the book, you got a job. That's so
Thank you.
cool.
We didn't even need the resume.
No, because they know you've got some valuable knowledge. That's
Thank you.
that is a crazy success story. So, is there anything else that you want to share with the audience?
Oh yeah, yes. So all right. You may be wondering why I'm sitting on the floor right now. So my great friend Charlie started this whole community of just his vision aligns with my vision very well, where he is kind of just connecting people with their dreams and their goals, their destinies, their purposes, and helping unlock people find their destinies and their dreams and their purposes, and just connecting to themselves, connecting to God. Um, and so what he had said is, if you'd like ideas to come to you and just kind of be more connected to the imagination, then what you can do is you can sit on the floor. And it's just a playful space like we did when we were kids. We just sit on the floor and just things would come to us, ideas would come to us, imagination would come to us. And so I just wanted to sit on the floor to be in a part of that state. And then I'm sitting in my nephew's room right now. When they come to visit, we got a room for them. And so we got this construction set that my grandma got me when I was 5, also next to me, because it's a constructive environment, and we're building things, and we're building people up, and we're building environments up, and we're creating environments that support people through pictures that connect with them and relate to them to help them unlock their dreams and their ideas for their greatest creations, whether that be a book, or whether that be a story, a movie, a film, a character idea, an idea for a chapter in a book, just from like looking at these pictures in a therapeutic way and being able to just understand, wow, we can experience so much through so little with exactly what we have to get where we'd like to go. And then we can share those with other people and then help get them where they need to go. And then it's just like, it can really just help us unlock everything we ever possibly thought of or wanted just in this exact same moment right now. And it might start off at an imaginative level, but it can then transform into something very real and very physical. So yeah, I just wanted to run that by people, and that's why I'm sitting on the floor.
Tell us about that picture on the wall.
So right here we have the key to the city of Detroit. It, this one's really special to me because I ran into one of my friends at a music festival. There's 80,000 people at this music festival, and I haven't seen my friend in 6 years. All of a sudden, this arm goes up around my shoulder, and I look over. I'm like, "Whoa! Like I haven't seen you in 6." Like in the middle of in a sea of 80,000 people. Here's one of my old best friends. Like, "Yo, man!" I'm like, "Yo, dude!" And then he's like, "Yo, you want to hang out when we get back to the east side of Michigan, like after this music festival?" I said, "Sure." So then we're hanging out, and he says, "Yo, you take pictures?" I say, "Yeah." I mean, like he knew I took he knew I took pictures, but it was kind of like, "Oh, hey, like you take pictures?" And it was like, "Yeah, yeah, I do." He's like, "Hold out your hand." I'm holding out my hand, and then I look down and there's just a key to the city of Detroit in my hand. And I'm like, "Bro, is this real, dude?" And he's like, "Yeah, Mayor Coleman Young." And it's like, "What?" Like, bro, you're 24, you're 25, you're the same age as me. Like, people that bleed heart so Detroit don't even get to see these things in their life sometimes. If you Google image these things, you're barely going to find any images on them, and not even like high quality images or good images. And then it's just, here's this thing in my hand right here with one of my friends. He's like, "Dude, I got this handed down to me, man." And I was like, "What?" And so what we did was we went to, so it's like, you can't order these things, you can't buy these things, like this edition of this. I don't know if you can buy other editions of them, but like, you cannot find these things. And it's just in his hand, and it's like, what? And so then we went to the oldest standing graffiti in the city of Detroit, because a lot of times in Detroit, graffiti will get painted over, or graffiti will get kind of like worn out, washed out. And so we ended up going to visit the oldest standing graffiti in Detroit. And this is actually, it's a picture of a lion, a tiger, and it has red wings made out of machine parts. So like, we got the Detroit Tigers, we got the Detroit Lions, we got the Detroit Red Wings, and it's like it's an automotive city, so it's kind of representative of all of that. And so then we got to snap the picture, just two iconic Detroit things. And so that is what that picture is of. I have the picture in focus on the key specifically, just because I want to show people, like, hey, it's not always about doing the most this or doing the most that or being the most outstanding this or trying the hardest in that. It's just about being yourself and being you, and you'll connect with the right people at the right places at the right times, and like, you'll unlock the key through conversation, and we can just have these conversations like we're having right now with people, and they can really just unlock wherever we'd like to go to help build the future that we're making for ourselves and making for others and making with helping others.
Wow. Okay. And as far as visualization and Visnostics, I want to point out some things to the people that are watching right now going, I don't understand what's happening. I hope that y'all were watching Tim's eyes because he is an artist. And artists are very visual people. And not only is he an artist, he's a photographer. And you just heard him describe that picture behind him. His eyes were barely looking at the screen the whole time. He's looking up because his whole brain is turbocharged on visualizations. And so you'll know if you're with someone that's having an actual visualization experience by the way their eyes are moving. And forget everything you've learned about up to the right and up to the left, one's lying, one's not. That's all not true. Here's what's the deal with the lying. If someone's about to lie, they will visualize the lie before they say it. So it's true that liars will look up, but doesn't mean every time someone looks up that's a lie. Every time someone looks up, they're having a visualization. And sometimes it's really good. Like Tim's a very visual person just in his manner of communicating. And it's extreme, which I love, because this guy is going to be a Visnostic master because it's natural to him. So Tim, you mentioned you do two things. You are an artist and you just got a new job. And there's probably some people in here that have fallen in love with you that are watching this. So what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Can I just say one thing before we get into that?
Oh, sure.
Thank you so much for not interpreting my eye movement as a form of disrespect, or like, because some people be like, look at the person in their face, in their eye while you're talking to them. And sometimes I can do it, but sometimes it just takes me like away from exactly where I'm going. So just thank you for understanding that in like the most purest sense and being able to help shine the light on that in the right sense that I would like it to be shined on. So thank you.
Oh yeah, it's a gift. And don't ever feel bad about it. You have a natural gift.
That's the first time I've heard that in that sense in my entire life. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And then the second thing is, I wouldn't say I'm a photographer. I would just say I'm a person with a camera, because I had just purposely not taken any photography classes and just picked up an entry level camera just to show people, hey, like, you don't need this school, you don't need this classes. You don't need like you don't need anything besides what you have. It's literally just about your relationships with everything that you have and just kind of exploring and playing around with that. And so hence again, that's another reason why I'm just sitting on the floor next to a construction toy, because it's just about playing around with our environment and the elements that we have to develop new relationships with it, to show people what's possible with what we have and where we can go through conversations. A great place to find me would be on my website at deliberatelytim.com. It's DELIBERATELYTIM.com. And there's a lot of images that can really help people on a variety of levels. So I would love if people reached out to me. And hold on. I just came up with a Visnostic statement that would really help this out really well. So tell me your dreams and I'll connect them with a picture.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
And then there's tell me the ideas that come to your mind while looking at this picture. And then we can see where we can go with that and what we can make out of that to help you and where you're going at
Perfect.
any individual level.
And do you want to talk about your new job at all?
Not yet.
Okay, very good. I respect that.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Tim. I appreciate your time today, and the insight is so refreshing. So I'm sure we will see you again in the future.
Cool.
Okay, bye, Tim.
It's been